Welcome to the Peat podcast. I'm your host, Chris. This is your host, Joe. Do you want to tell us what this podcast is about?
Yeah, so pretty much what you want in your life is another two white guys talking about basketball. So we're going to be talking about NBA season upcoming, the predictions for what we think is going to happen, our fantasy league, that we're a part of, that Chris is a corrupt commissioner on the record. And then we'll kind of just be going through there, following the NBA during the season. Now, to get into it, I'm a New York Knicks fan, so yeah, if you know anything about that, that's pain. I've supported the Knicks for, 12 years now. There's been maybe 2 good seasons, and by good, I mean we made the playoffs. The highest part of being a Knicks fan was that Knicks tape era with Shumpert and J.R. Smith, and then the lowest part was when we drafted Tingus Pingus. If you know, you know. Chris, what team do you support and why?
I haven't been watching basketball anywhere near as long as you, but since I did, started watching Miami Heat, kind of picked up on that from playing 2K and just enjoyed playing with them as they were a fairly loaded team. Highlights, probably the bubble season, just because we made it so far. Hasn't really been too many low points, luckily, for now. But there definitely will be in the coming season without having a power forward to fit in the team properly. But as for now, we're going pretty well. Do you want to tell us a bit about yourself outside of the basketball?
Yeah, so outside of the basketball, part-time fantasy manager, not very good at it. Probably the worst at making decisions in our comp. A bit about me though, I'm a range analyst, so you'd think analytics would be my strong point, but for some reason with fantasy basketball, I'm shocking at it. Big fan of most sports. I watch basketball predominantly, soccer, I can't say soccer, we're on the record, football. And then that's really it for me. It's my biggest passions. What about you?
Fairly similar, but obviously quite different. I'm painter by trade and general manager of fantasy, CFO of several other teams, and arguably corrupt commissioner. But outside of that, kind of just watch all things sport, study all things sport, and just enjoy the day-to-day.
Yeah, so if you are watching this podcast, just know the opinions you're going to hear, some are going to be okay, some are going to be absolutely shocking, probably mostly from myself. But
some will just be based on fantasy stats, because that's predominantly what we also know.
Yeah, when I watch a game anymore, I'm not watching what points they get in the game. I'm watching how will it affect my fantasy, which is it's different. It's definitely different.
It definitely makes it harder to watch some games, but easier to watch others.
Yeah, I've gone from supporting teams to supporting individuals. But if you do have any opinions and you want to comment them below, feel free to, because we will be wrong, predominantly me. And we will say some dumb things. So let us hear it, but be nice. Don't be too harsh about it.
Yeah, tune in every week. We should be uploading quite regularly. Hopefully all things go well.
Yeah, thank you.
Catch you on the next one.